Hello everyone, Prince Good here, and welcome to a Fan Friday featuring Q&A. I don't have a very articulate way to say this one. A very clever way to say this one, I should say. Now for Q&A Fan Fridays, you know, I haven't said it for a while, so reiterating, basically, I've got about 3 or 4 questions here that I've accumulated over the months, and now we've got X amount of questions, we have X amount of, well, responses that I need to make. So, let's get right down to the nitty-gritty. So, first question that is on this segment is, well, it comes from SMB 101, and this might be an old question. I apologize. I may have forgotten to delete old questions, but SMB 101 has asked, who do you main in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS? Oh boy, that's actually, you know, that's an interesting one, because who I made when I started out is much different from right now. Like, what was it? I don't really have much of a main, so to say, right now, because don't play very often, and thus I'm very rusty. But what I do have that I think I've got a good grasp on for characters is Mewtwo, Greninja, Peach, a little bit on Wario, and I'd say I'm kind of on the fence with both Ganondorf and Captain Falcon. Like, I like the raw power that Ganondorf has, and how he doesn't like fast fall. But I do love how quick he can get off moves with Captain Falcon in the opposite aspect. So, yeah, it's kind of that's kind of where I am there. But one character I will always main. That's always my fallback if I ever need like a try and true. Oh, I need to try now. Okay, is Luigi. I've been maining Luigi since Smash 64, and I mean for obvious reasons, Shin Shoryuken. Sorry. Now I have a trio of questions here, and I have a trio of questions here that all come from the same person, but I'll kind of divide it up into their own questions, so to say. So first question here is, well, all these questions come from Mr. Hipsy, but because of how I'm doing it, his name will still appear on each question down here, wherever I put the little annotation thingy. The first question was, which was your first game you ever played? Well, that's kind of a difficult question to ask, oddly enough. Like, in my head, I have vivid memories of playing Super Mario Brothers. Like, I have vivid memories of playing Super Mario Brothers, beating it before my parents did, and also going through and beating the star levels, which is basically the new game plus, where all Goombas are replaced with Buzzy Beetles. But I have memories of beating that as well in the same sitting, before my parents could beat even the regular playthrough. And that was back when I was like 2 years old. That's like you know, baby's first memory, as sad as it is. But from what I've been told, I've actually played a lot of other games. Like, apparently I played a lot of Atari when I was just getting my motor skills, like before the NES was a thing. And I played Pac-Man a lot. I guess it would kind of explain why I have like this. Like, even though I'm open to all games, I usually like dive back into Pac-Man when it comes to an actual icon of the industry. But take that as what you will. So, like I said, my memory says Super Mario Brothers. My parents who saw me say Pac-Man, like Atari Pac-Man. And his following question, Mr. Hipsy's next question is, how old are you? Well, old enough to probably be your dad. No, I'm not that old. I'm 28. I just turned 28 about roughly a month ago from when this video is going up. So, I'm not over the hill yet, but I'm definitely not a younger person. Oh, I just made myself feel bad. Anyway. And let's go ahead and move on to his final question. That's like a quick Bish Bash Boss series of questions. I like it. Would you do a series of the Stanley Parable? Oh, Stanley, yeah, that thing I did for Fan Friday about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure if I could or if I would, because I wouldn't know what exactly to make that playlist be. I mean, I did 2 endings when I did the Fan Friday. I did the follow the directions through and through, do what the game says all the way through ending, and then I did the ignore the game until like almost the last possible second ending. But there's so many choices. Like, I could go online and look, and I'd probably be disgusted, but there's so many endings in that game that, and unfortunately I would be the kind of guy that would be like, I would have to do an all-ending series if I did a full series in the game, but I would need to know how the game works first. And then I would also have like a chart. I would have this crazy-ass chart, probably on this whiteboard over here, actually, if anything. I'd have this crazy-ass chart of like, let's see, directive 1, okay, here's your first option. I ignore. Here's my second option. I ignore. Here's my third option. Well, I ignored it last time, so let's follow it this time. I'd have this chart that I would need probably an entire back wall poster to like something about the size of the wall behind me. I would need an entire wall to dedicate to the graph I would need to say, okay, I did this option, this option. So, if I ever did a series for the Stanley Parable, that's what we'd be looking at. But I also would have the problem with, like, well, certain things where I wouldn't have the patience to sit through everything. Okay, sorry about that. I cut off mid-explanation. Something happened. Capture cut out. Anyway, so like I was saying, I would need an entire wall like this behind me in order to get the grid that I need for whatever's going on taken care of. I would need all of this to map out what's going on. So, if I did one, I would have a tough time mapping out what options I did and did not take. I'm not entirely against it, but do know I would need a lot of free time in order to map out all possible directions I can take in said game. And with that, we've actually reached the end of all the questions. And I know 3 of the questions came from the same person, but that's the beauty of a Q&A. Everybody can ask as many questions as they feel like for Q&A. So, that's going to be my time here. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this Fan Friday, which is just a Q&A segment. If you want more Q&A segments, all you gotta do is leave a comment in the comment section down below on any Fan Friday or any video, really. That's it. And that basically asks I guess you could say a little more personal question than anything else, but you can ask just about anything. But yeah, just leave your comment down there, and either preempt it or follow it up with, please save this for Fan Friday. That way, or please save this for a Q&A segment. Otherwise, I'm dumb enough that I'm going to answer that question in excuse me, I'm going to be dumb enough and answer that question in a reply comment. So I'm just preempting my own dumb head. But anyway, thank you all so much for your time today. Oh, I forgot the other half of the outro for these Fan Fridays. For Fan Friday, if you don't want a Q&A segment, if you'd rather see a certain game, leave that as a comment down below as well. All suggestions are taken on a first come, first served basis, and if I have any bias as to why I won't do a certain game, I'll reply with a detailed explanation as to why I won't do it, but those are going to be few and far between and rarer than, well, think of something really rare in whatever game you're playing, it's rarer than that. Anyway, thank you for your time today. You have a great rest of your day.